Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Salem, Nicole joining us here live again on the Zoomcast and podcast. Excited to have her back here from Fourth House Intuitive, and that's exactly what she is. She's an intuitive, she's an empath helping so many people all over the world, although she's based down in beautiful Brandon, Florida. That's why she's in the tank top today, and I'm in New York, and it's kind of hot here, so doing the tank top thing too. Welcome back. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you, Jill?
I'm doing great. How are the girls? How's the family?
Everybody's doing good. We had a blast. Was able to take a little bit of time off and hit the pool, get some sunshine. And so I'm hoping that I might have a little bit of time today to where I can go back.
Good for you. Awesome. Yeah. It's like
Yeah,
pool weather here in New York right now. But yeah, well, good to see you guys and glad you're back. Glad you're here with us. And for those new time listeners, let's talk a little bit about your business and the services you provide. We'll do a little overview of the stuff you have to offer, and then we'll break it all down where you want to go today.
sounds good. Well, I don't know. Do you
I could
have
tell you
anything in
Reiki
mind?
energy healing. She does psychic readings. She does
Reiki.
alchemy
That was a
sessions. She does, I'm just, yeah, just an overview of the little things that she does, or a lot of things that she does, I should say. And it's fourthhouseintuitive.com. That's ivhouseintuitive.com.
That's correct. So yeah, since we talked about or touched on Reiki there, we can start with that.
Sure,
I've got
let's
on
do it.
my yellow today, tapping into the solar plexus chakra. So when you're dealing with the chakras or the Reiki energy healing, if I can get the word out, you
Yep.
guys, that's tapping into your was in a particular way, your Reiki energy healing. That's help bringing in balance and alignment through your chakras. Also, that healing can help provide you with being able to release stress, get rid of certain pains, help you being able to cope better with certain ailments, situations, that you may be coming into contact with. For example, is very good for people with cancer. As me myself dealt with cancer myself, and I did a lot of Reiki energy on myself to help me get through the radiation treatments, the low energy levels, things like that. I was actually working at the time while dealing with cancer, which that's
Ah,
something that's unheard of a lot of the times because of the sickness and things that you go through on a regular basis when you're dealing with that. But because I was tapping into Reiki on a regular basis, I was able to keep my energy levels boosted. I was also able to uh, calm the nausea. I had a huge problem with being nauseated to the point where you can't eat. So you end up losing a lot of weight, losing a lot of nourishment within your body because of the transitions that you're going through. So for those of you that are out there dealing with nauseation, things like that, Reiki can really help balance that out within you. So that way you're not having to take so
mm-hmm.
many prescriptions, because again, we have to focus on our liver too, especially during that time. I mean, you got to think radiation treatments, huge,
Ah,
chemotherapy, some people, huge on top of whatever else that you already got to take. So keeping that liver balanced is important, and just keeping your chakras in line and in tuned is important as well to help you get through that time. It's very hard, very stressful, honey. I know, been there. Okay, so I really recommend anybody that's dealing with cancer to tap into some Reiki healing, or any other ailment, migraines, stress, worry, things like that. Reiki definitely helps keep you in tune and in alignment and able for you to do things that you wouldn't necessarily be able to, like work,
yeah.
or not stress, things like that.
Got it. Okay. And by the way, there's what, seven main chakras in our body, but then I learned there's like a whole bunch more, right? And how does it work when you're doing Reiki? We could do distance healing like this right here over Zoom, correct? I gotta give you permission to, and what does it feel like? Is it scary? Is it like, people might be asking these questions saying, I don't get it. How does energy transfer? How does it move within, you in Florida, me in New York? Could you share that?
Well, sure. So when it comes to energy, energy is fluid, period. Like regardless. I mean, I'm able to tap into your energy there, right through the video camera here, because you got to think when you're thinking about TV, that's something that's being projected. Energy is being projected through the TV, which, I don't know if you've heard back in the day, Jill, where some, other people like the elders, they called the TV as the devil's eye because of what comes through it. It may not be all that positive information coming through. Some people could be watching horror stories, thriller stories, something that's gonna drag their emotions down, an emotional cheer jerk or whatever. Whatever is being shown on that TV, it's gonna
Yeah.
get projected to you.
Okay.
Okay. So when you're dealing with energy healing, it's the same thing,
Wow.
So I'm able to construct certain processes tailored to your individual needs based off of what you're looking to get healed for. And then I'm able to project that energy right through the screen, just like anything else is projected right through the screen. So it's really awesome. What it feels like is everybody is different. I've had some people down emotionally, to where the energy is that potent to where it gives them, or they start to cry, they get emotional. I've had people, that's usually mainly one of the main reactions to it. Some people get hot, like they start to hot flash all of a sudden too. I've had people sometimes, they just feel calm, just an overwhelming of calm comes to them, peace almost. Kind of like for people that may be dealing with a lot of stress, a lot of worry, a lot of pain, things like that, they get that sense of calmness
Yeah.
come about them. So it's pretty cool.
And what about do you use a pendulum? Isn't there something that you sometimes, I think you said it last time, right? Then what does that dictate for you?
Well, when you incorporate the pendulum, that helps um, move the energy in the direction that it needs to go in. It helps zero in on it when you use that pendulum. So that way, that energy is kind of like what can I make? You know how you use a pen or a pencil, right? And you direct it to write in that particular. It's sort of like that, the pendulum.
Got it. Okay. And what else now with a Reiki session, the types of healing you mentioned, it can help with health, well being, those suffering with cancer treatments. I mentioned
Mhm.
that's how I discovered it from my mom for the pain. But then you do hear stories. Now, I'm not going to say this for you, but like some people say they've cured people with Reiki. I mean, you don't want to use that word. Okay. We can't. But are there some things that it's worked really well for? Can you share?
I would have to say migraines, headaches, stress, anxiety, that it's worked really good for. Pain. I mean, like I said, I'm a walking medical miracle. I'm not even supposed to be
Yeah.
walking. Doctors told me I was never going to walk again. I wasn't going to do this, that, and the third. Well, I walk into those appointments now and prove them all wrong. I do still suffer from pain, of course, but that just comes with the territory. I did have major spine surgery.
Wow.
So, but during those times, I'm able to do Reiki to help soothe that pain. So that way I don't have to take ibuprofen and Tylenol. Like I was taking those like Skittles, back when my journey started with this. And so it really helps with that. I mean, it just really works. I really don't know. And then also it helps you sleep good too. Like
Yeah.
after you get those sessions, I mean, you really sleep good, because sometimes when I remember being so nauseated to the point where I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
I was just up, just sick, just everything coming out all of the time. So, um, yeah, the prescriptions that my doctor gave me really didn't work all that much, kind of made me sicker.
Oh,
So, just really been into that. I mean, it's a huge benefit is all I could say. And it's something that I still use today. Now that I've been using it on a regular basis, Reiki, you have to get at least 4 consecutive appointments for those,
mm-hmm.
for it to, but that's just the first session. All right. So depending on your situation, you may need continuous Reiki like I do. Okay. Because that's how I'm able to get up and do what I do on a regular basis.
Got
So
it.
I have my times where I have issues and I have to keep my energies up, keep my chakras spinning. I have to do certain things for myself in order to even be able to help other people. So, um, yeah, 4 consecutive appointments starting out. If it's just something stress related,
Okay.
anxiety, something like that, it may be something to where you do it every 2 weeks or once a month, 4 consecutive appointments. If it's something that's ongoing, like you have pre-existing conditions, it may be something that you tap into for at least 3 to 6 months, depending
Okay.
on what your situation is. So that way you're getting it on a regular basis to turn things in your favor.
Got it. All right. Good to know. Thank you so much. So, Reiki obviously could be a big benefit to us, and that's something you offer in person and distance wise. Could you share a story or two about someone you've done this Reiki on and the benefit it gave them? I know we shared your experience, which was amazing. Could you share someone else's and maybe a different form of how it helped them?
Sure. So I had a client that was dealing with some anxiety to the point where it causes them to have social anxiety,
Mm-hmm.
which makes it hard for them to be
Hmm.
able to, socialize in public settings. Like they tense up, they freeze up, and sometimes they
Mm-hmm.
just say home and give up on the whole situation. But this person really wants to get out, be around people, things like that, want to date and things like that. So they had a severe social anxiety, was on certain medications from that they got from their doctor, of course, which helped, but didn't help, So it just depends, when you're dealing with medications, it's kind of like a twofold type of thing. It'll help you with one thing, but it may make something else worse. Reiki, you don't have to worry about that. It's going to help, period, and that's it. So when I was able to treat this person, it was how long did we go? We did Reiki for about 3 months. It was about 2.5, 3 months, 4 consecutive sessions in intervals. Okay. So by me being able to, you know, put the Reiki in the formula that's for them and what they're dealing with as far as social anxiety or anxiety as a whole themselves. I was told that this person was able to decrease their medication. They didn't have to take it as much. They found themselves being okay in certain situations. They would test themselves. This person was telling me like they went to the mall, something that was kind of hard for them to do with all the people there, went to the mall and was able to grab lunch and do this on their own, not being codependent on friends or family members going with them, So as time went on, they were able to come out of that shell. They were able to relax more within themselves to be able to do things they otherwise wouldn't be able to do and decrease the medication as well. They're still taking it, of course. I'm not going to tell you not to take it. It's up to you on how you feel and what's best for you. But they were able to decrease that medication intake as well. And I don't know, I haven't talked to them, and that it was just a 3 month session. So I'm assuming they're doing well. Because there hasn't been any other follow-up or anything like that, or they haven't come back to me saying that they needed more. So I'm assuming everything is great.
Wow, amazing stories. So Reiki energy healing, just one of the things I know you do tarot cards, you do a birth chart analysis. Anything
Mhm.
recently that you want to share that popped up for your practice and your work that's, inspired you for today to talk about?
Yeah, I actually did a birth chart analysis for someone not too long ago. And this was somebody that did not, they had their birth certificate, but they didn't have the time. So they couldn't get specific with their birth chart, which that happens a lot. A lot of the birth certificates these days, depending on where you get it from, whatever state regulations are, whatever. Sometimes that time frame isn't available, so which means you're not going to be able to get a birth chart on yourself. So I was able to perform a birth chart analysis just through a reading, and when I did that, the member, or I mean the client, I mean they were just like, "Oh my gosh, this makes so much sense." It was just kind of like, now I understand why I act the way that I do. Like I never really understood the reasoning behind why I act the way that I do. And this was in like a marriage type of situation.
Mm-hmm.
So this was an individual trying to get help on an individual basis to help strengthen their relationship and their marriage, right? So once they were able to find out important information about themselves, to understand themselves on why they act, why they do, why they speak the way that they do, it strengthened the relationship because now they have that understanding of, okay, I need to just relax a minute. I need to take into consideration this is how I normally handle things, which causes problems in my relationship. So now I'm going to do this a different route. So when you're getting those birth charts, it's like coming into an awakening of self, and the more that you're able to understand you, the more you're going to be able to understand certain situations, people, places, things that you are encountering and why. So therefore, you're going to be able to handle it a lot better than you normally would, bringing in more blessings, bringing in more awareness, more abundance for yourself. And abundance comes in many different forms. So it was a pretty good session. I was happy to do it. It was a whole mind-blowing experience for this person, but I was glad to help. Was happy that it, made sense for them to help them with their marriage.
Got it. That's awesome. This can help with that too. Relationships, communication. What about, do you do anything where it like comes to like love and I don't want to say, I guess I will say it, I don't know how to say it otherwise, but like people I but like voodoo or like to cast a spell on someone, like to attract them more, or that's not part of like intuitive work.
Not for me. I don't put spells or cast spells or do any of that for other people. Don't do it.
Got it.
And then when it comes to like any voodoo, any type of those type of practices, not affiliated with any of that. I'm the wrong go-to person for that. So if you're looking for, something to that nature, I'm not it. But if you are looking for how to, you know, manifest for yourself or perform rituals for yourself for, positive reasons, then I will help you with gathering what tools that you need. I will help you with pinpointing the time that you need. I will help you with procedures or affirmations that you may need in order to do that ritual or manifestation for yourself. I'm not going to do it for you. Uh-uh. But I will teach you how to do it yourself.
Got it. All right. Thank you so much. So what other aspect do you want to share? It's pretty, to me, it's fascinating what you do. How do people respond to you with what you do? Right. If you're out with the other parents, like a family night, a PTA night or something, and they're like, what, you're intuitive. I just find like that's like such a cool thing. They might bombard you like you're like a celebrity.
I do get that a lot, which is okay. A lot of people have questions, regarding what it is that I do, which is fine. I just try to answer the questions as best as I can with the situation that's, we got going on at that time. And it may end up, leading into a personal session, a one-on-one session, so that way they can get more in depth. I have like people flock to me, like I don't know how to put it, but I magnetize a lot of folks to me because of my energy. What they call that in my world is the sun, right? So when you are the sun, your light shines so bright that everybody's like, "Oh my gosh, what's up with this person?" Like sometimes I could walk down the street, and this happened plenty of times. I went out to lunch with someone and I was just walking down the street minding my business, and next thing you know, oh my gosh, I feel weird around you. It feels good. Like some people just are able to just tap me in a particular way. And again, next thing you know, I got another client or two, people trying to find out what I do, how I do, and how it can benefit them. So it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool feeling to be able to have that just walking in the room or walking down the street.
Got it.
Even even pets, and they are drawn to me as well. So that trips a lot of people out. I can turn like the most, I don't know, a pet that may not be so people friendly, don't go around people so much. But as soon as I walk down the street, they're just like, all excited. And sometimes the owner will be like, what is with this woman right here? This has never happened, So
Well, and speaking
I
of
get that a
pets,
lot too.
so can you also connect with the pet and their
Yeah.
past lives or what they're trying to tell you?
Yeah.
Has anyone
Yeah,
ever?
I
Oh
can
my God.
also yeah, I can also do Reiki energy healing is good for pets as well. FYI. So if any of you guys have, pets that are going through some medical issues, because they're a lot like us. And again, you got to think it's energy. Energy is everywhere. It doesn't stop. It has no beginning. It has no end. So even pets can benefit from Reiki as well and tapping into their past lives, their uh, personality traits there, so that way you're able to understand your pet a lot more too. Hmm.
Interesting. Wow. And what about like past pets? Have you connected with like a pet that's passed too? Can you do that?
Well, I've connected with, yeah, there was one person where the pet was sick and died of cancer, and
Oh,
it came up in a reading. And so and what was so funny about it was how it came up in the reading. I was able to, like, it was a picture, spot on picture of that dog. So it just kind of blew the owner away. They got emotional, and it was just, I can't really describe how that
mm-hmm.
was. It was emotional time, because this was a beloved dog. So yeah,
Oh my
but it
goodness.
was awesome. It was awesome. All positive. I'm here to help people, not hinder people.
Beautiful. And also just taking a look, if you're on the Zoom, we still have 5 minutes left. What are we looking at next to you? There's are those crystals or those what other tools are you using to use help people? Candles? What?
Yeah, these are all regular tools. This is actually in for, tools that I used last night. All actuality, there was a live that was just done last night on YouTube. So if any of you guys want to go over and check that out, you're more than welcome to do that. Lives
Cool.
are on Thursdays and Saturday nights at midnight on YouTube. And I'm working on getting my streaming services back up to where I'm able to multi stream on other platforms, but that's in the works. But so far, this was just some things that I used on last night's reading on May 12th. 2023. So that way it helps you find it, because I don't know, everybody's time and energy is different. So if you're looking for the reading, it was a live reading. You can subscribe to the channel on YouTube and hit the playlist, and you'll see live streams from May 12th. And you would just click on that. That way you can see what I used, what I did, and how, it was a pretty cool reading.
That's awesome. 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 And how do we find you again? Tell us. It's
I can be found at ivhouseintuitive.com, which is a Roman numeral 4. It shows all the services and things that are all related to the business, and what you can do. Free consultations for everybody. You can also get tickets for your alchemy party, which that's the rituals and manifestations that we were talking about as well. We do that on a group basis. And also you can find me on YouTube. I do live there, uploads and lives. I also do TikTok. I do Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram as well. So you're more than welcome to chime in and follow me on those platforms as well. And you can call me at 888-339-3273, extension 804. And yes, that is an international number. So even for people that are overseas.
perfect. Thank you so much. All right. And again, it's ivhouseintuitive.com. And in closing today, do you want to give anything to your readers? We have listen to 2 minutes left. And I can't do a general reading in 2 minutes, but how did you want to leave off with everyone today?
Well, I just want to sending everybody love and light out there. Hopefully, the information was beneficial for you. If you got any questions or concerns for me, you're always able to contact me at any time. Hours of operation are 24 hours, so the calendar is open for everybody. Also, I know a lot of people ask the price. Price depends on how you want to proceed on your service. There's something there for everybody. So it doesn't matter what budget you have, there's something there for you.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Pleasure having you back here as always. Really. Salem Nicole, I love it. I just feel like, yeah, you're awesome. Did we have a show quicker than last time or it just popped up quicker? I felt like, was it a week ago or was it less than a week?
I'm sorry, say that again. Did we end it
I feel
quicker?
like we spoke the other day. Was that really last week already? that we spoke
No,
last?
it was Monday. We're
It
twice a
was.
week now, Jill.
It was.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my gosh. All right. Thank you.
We're Mondays and Fridays now, Jill.
Thank
So
you.
it's
I was wondering.
awesome.
I'm like, well, she's back so quickly. Thank you so much for making me realize that. I'm like, wow, the week
It's
that goes
okay.
really quick. So it was 4 days ago. All right. Have a good day. Thank you again. IVHouseIntuitive.com. That's the Fourth House Intuitive. Check her out and check out all of her videos as well. Go to YouTube too and check out that live she did the other night. I want to see that, how she used all of her materials and stuff. Thank you. Bye bye.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
Mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house. And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.